Sup nerds, here's my Angels list updated for EX08. Starting off with the Tama, same for Tama, Cupimon. Don't play anything besides this Tama. When attacking once per turn by adding the top card of your security stack to your hand, you may place one Angel trait Digimon from your hand to the bottom of your security stack. You don't actually have to finish resolving that. If you already have an Angelomon on the field, for example, you can swing, add the top card to your hand, and then just let her recover and just don't tuck anything. Don't play anything besides this card. Onto our Rooks. We are playing 4 Patamon still. Obviously, starting main phase, Evo, add your security for free into a level 4 and then tuck something, gain a memory from the inheritable. Your turn once per turn when a card is added to your security stack, gain 1 memory. Very good rookie, lets us see what's in our security, which is very important. Then we are still playing 4 Luxmon. On play, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, add an Angel or Archangel, and then 1 3 Guardian Angels. We do get max value on this quite often. And then when attacking once per turn, if this Digimon has an Angel trait, draw 1. The only Angel I believe that exists that this wouldn't happen for is Fallen Angel, so I'm just going to say Angel trait. This card, I considered cutting this potentially down for a Floodgate rookie, but you really need the search power as well as the hand replenishment that the inheritable gives you, because you end up hard playing quite often in this deck, and that is cool if you're playing against Mirage and stuff, but like you still need to be digging into your deck to be able to play the game. So I can't cut this card below 4, unfortunately. And then we are unfortunately cutting the promo Patamons. We're playing BT9 Pillowmon, 2 of them. All turns, players can't play Digimon by effects. Obviously, that impacts us slightly. Our Gatomons will not trigger. Well, we can't play our Gatomons, I should say. And then if we have a Cherub, we wouldn't be able to play anything off the Cherub. This thing's already on the field. However, obviously, it's easy for us to play around this because it is our rookie. We can Evo on top of it. We can crash into our opponent's stuff. This is a concession to the scramble cards existing. They're just going to be so prevalent that you really need to just be able to play around them, and this is the best way to do it. I don't think this is necessary for Imperial, because I don't think that deck is going to be super popular moving forward, but scramble cards are basically going to be in every deck that's able to support it. And that is it. We're just playing 10 rookies still. On to our champions. No changes here. Still 4 BT14 Angemons. Eels on top of Patamon for 2. When attacking, you can delete this Digimon to put a virus trait Digimon on your opponent's side of the field to the bottom of their security, or you can minus 5k to something. Then on deletion, he puts himself on the bottom of your security stack. And if you have a Tamer, you hatch. And then inheritables on deletion, place 1 yellow card with vaccine trait from hand at the bottom of your security stack. Just so you know, that is a mandatory effect the way it reads. However, your hand is private information, so you don't actually have to do that if you don't want to. And then we are playing 4 Gatomon still. Incredible card, busted. When an effect trashes it, you can play it without paying the cost. It has barrier, and then all turns once per turn when a card is moved from your security stack, gain 1 memory. And the inheritable is also barrier, very good for getting underneath your Dom, or an Angelomon is nice too. And this card actually seats itself Evo out of security with the Patamon effect, so you will Evo for -2 memory if you have this in security, which is really cool. That is it. We're just playing 8 champions still. On to level 5, still 4 Magna Angemons. Does Evo on top of Angemon for 3, otherwise Evo's for 4 on top of Gatomon. On play or when Digivolving, if it's your turn, search your security stack, you may Evo into a Digimon with the Angel trait or 3 Guardian Angels trait with the cost reduced by 2, then shuffle your security stack, and then if you Evo'd, you can tuck an Angel at the bottom of your security. And then inheritable is opponent's turn, all of your Digimon with the Angel trait gain blocker. This is how you go into your Dom Angelomon play as quickly as possible in combination with the Cupimon. You just need to swing once, tuck the Dom, and then boom, you're golden. And then we're of course playing 4 Angelomon Aces. On play / when Digivolving by trashing the top or bottom card of your security stack, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 6,000 DP until the end of their turn. Premium DP reduction, really good. And then all turns once per turn when a card is moved from your security stack, if you have 3 of your security cards, recover +1. That all turns effect is the reason why this card is broken in this deck in combination with Dom. And then we're playing 2 more Angelomons, has barrier, and then inheritable, your turn while Digimon has the Angel or 3 Guardian Angels trait, it gains alliance. Getting this under Cherub is kind of busted because you can swing for 3 checks at like 20,000 plus DP, and you're not worried about anything in security, and you can close out games very quickly. Also, you can play this for free off of your Dom effect, and then having a blocker with barrier on the field is pretty lit. And then we had to make some room for some things that we'll get to when we get there. We are just playing 1 Edamon from EX5 now. Wish I could play more, but you really only ever need to see the 1. Obviously, this hurts your ability to see it as consistently as possible, but still had to make a concession, and deck space is actually really tight. So it does Evo for 4 on everything. Usually you hard play this guy though. On play / when Digivolving until the end of your opponent's turn, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3,000 DP and gain start of your main phase as Digimon attacks. Premium DP reduction, very good. Inheritable opponent's turn, once per turn, when an opponent's Digimon attacks, you may reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may play one black or yellow Digimon with play cost of 3 or less among them, and then trash the rest. As I've said previously, I don't really trigger that effect very often unless I'm just digging for something, I guess. The only thing I can think of where I might do it is literally it's desperation. Is maybe I'm hoping to hit a Luxmon that then searches the top 3 and then I add an ace target if I don't have any aces in my hand for some reason. But that's basically it. And that is it. We are just playing 11 level 5s now. On to our 6s. We are still playing 4 Dom, obviously. Don't play less than 4 of this card, please. When Digivolving, search your security stack. You may play level 5 or lower Angel or Archangel trait Digimon among them without paying the cost. Then shuffle it, and one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 7,000 DP for the turn. And then all turns, when one of your Digimon with the Angel, Archangel, or Trigger Angel's trait would leave the battle area other than by one of your effects or battle by trashing the top card of your security stack, prevent them from leaving. Rule trait, he is an Angel. Would be very awkward if he wasn't an Angel, if he didn't have that rule, because he couldn't protect himself, which would be really, really bad. Fun fact for those of you that don't know, if it's all one effect attempting to make your Digimon leave, an example now would be Gabu Bond. If your opponent tries to Gabu Bond 2 of your Angels, you just trash 1 card, prevent it all from happening. However, if it's an effect that's like a sequential resolution, like Leviamon, for example, they try to pop top, you trash a card, they try to pop bottom, you trash another card. Just something to keep in mind. And then we are still playing the 4 big bunnies, best 3-card Angel in my opinion. The fact that it has Alliance is very, very good for closing out games. And then on play / when Digivolving, you may play 1 green or yellow level 4 or lower Digimon card from your hand without paying the cost. Then until the end of your opponent's turn, one of their Digimon gets minus 4,000 DP for every other Digimon you have in play. So it doesn't count itself, but premium DP reduction in addition to just playing dudes for free is just insane. And the Alliance just lets you close out games super quickly. You want to see this card early and often. It's by far the best 3-card Angel we have access to. And then 2 Shadows does have blocker, and then on play / when Digivolving to Evo 3, one of your opponent's Digimon, and then all turns when an attack target changes, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 5,000 DP for the turn, and then rule trait has 3-card Angels. Really good for defensive plays, and maybe getting access to Ace Overflow if your opponent is evoed up into an ace or just has one in the top of their stack. Other than that, not really super awesome. You can't really be proactive with this card. That's why we're maxing out the Cherubs, because you can be proactive with this card. This guy's just strictly like, oh, I need to do something to answer whatever that is that's swinging at me. And then we are playing 1 Seraphimon Ace from EX6. Actually, at one point, bumped this up to 2. But I had to cut it back down to 1 to make room for some stuff. I'll explain when we get there. This guy is kind of mid, but he can be okay. He does evo for 3 on top of Magna Angemon, which is cool. If your opponent playing like Purple Hybrid, for example, like changes your colors, they change your color to your Magna, you can still blast into this guy because he has the black box. Also, if you Magna into him out of security, he would evo for just 1 memory, which is really cool. On play / when Digivolving, recover +1. Very, very good to just have a panic button to recover to go back to 1 if your opponent puts you at 0. And then all turns once per turn, when a card is added to your security stack, return one of your opponent's Digimon with as high or lower level as a number of security cards to the hand. So this is really, really good disruption for, I would say Purple Hybrid is the most impacted by this. If you have this out with an Angelomon out and they try to pop one of your things, you bounce whatever else they have on the field. Which is really cool. Also, this guy is a target for Shadow to blast into as well, which is really nice. Having a level 6 target for him is also really cool, because you can seem like you're just really desperate if your opponent managed to burn all your security and you just like hard play this to pass turn, and your opponent's like, oh, I probably have game, and you're just like, boom, no you don't. But yeah, I would like to play 2 ideally, but I had to make some space and I cut him to 1, but he's still good at 1. And that is it. We're just playing 11 6s. On to our Tamers. Boom, 4 TK Takashis from BT1. Start of your turn, if you have 2 or less memory, set it to 3. On play, look at your security stack, then add a card to your hand. If it's yellow, recover +1, then shuffle your security stack. This guy's amazing, lets you see your security. He is functionally a memory boost. At the beginning of the game, he lets you look at a completely separate hand that impacts the rest of the game, because obviously your security is going to impact the game. Lets you know what to play around, what you need to set up for when your opponent inevitably checks it out of security, or you potentially trash it, I guess. By far the best tamer for this deck if you're looking to be consistent. Yeah, my favorite tamer to play. And that is it for the tamers. We actually cut BT14 TK, whatever. Card didn't really do a whole lot. Cupimon does a job for you. He kind of just made you play harder in your Death X most of the time, unfortunately. There were some situations where he would come up to where like, oh, I don't have to swing in order to trigger my stuff to set up in case your opponent has like an ace play set up, but it's not the end of the world. I would rather just play 4 of these guys and none of the TKs. On to our options. We are playing 2 scrambles. I debated on whether or not I wanted to add this. Obviously, this is a really good card, but the theory is like, oh, well, my board rarely gets broken, so like how often am I going to be able to play a dude for free? So that is cool. However, you do play against decks that can out your board, and if you have like, let's say BT14 Patamon in trash at the beginning of your turn, you can just play that guy out before main phase happens, and if you have a target for the Patamon in your security already, that gives you so much extra value at the start of your turn, in addition to being able to top deck stuff. Like, you can potentially go right back into a Dom Angelwomon lock if your opponent manages to clear your board, if you have the right setup already. But I will explain what this card does. It's a 2-cost option. Main, one of your yellow Digimon may digivolve into a yellow Digimon card in the hand with the Evo cost reduced by 3. Then place this card in the battle area. Start of your turn, if your opponent has a Digimon, delay, return 1 yellow Digimon card from your trash to the top of your deck. Then if you don't have a Digimon, you may play 1 yellow Digimon card with 2000 DP or less from your trash without paying the cost. Obviously really cool. This is the reason why we're playing Pillowmon in the deck now, is because I really want to be able to keep my opponent from reestablishing stuff on their field. And then security effect, you may play 1 yellow Digimon card with 2000 DP or less from your trash without paying the cost, then add this card to the hand. That's really lit. If your opponent manages to check this out of security, you can play Patamon, you can play Luxmon, you can play Pillowmon potentially, maybe that impacts them, whatever. But yeah, really good. Also, this lets us Evo into our 3 Great Angels on top of our level 5s without passing turn if we started our turn at 3 memory, which a lot of times we will be at 3 memory because we're playing a bunch of memory setters. Just all around really good card. I'm glad I was able to make room for this. And the cards that I cut for it were Digimon. That's where the single Edamon and the single Seraphi Ace were cut. But this functionally gives us more copies of those, as well as more copies of the cards we actually need to see every single game, like Dom, Angelwomon, Cherub, Magna Angemon, also Patamon, unless you recycle your Patamons when they die. And then obviously we're still playing 4 yellow memory boosts, promo, 3-cost option, main reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, add 1 yellow Digimon card along to the hand, put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order, then place this card in the battle area. Main delay, trash this card, gain 2 memory, security, place this card in the battle area. Amazing card. We really want to be consistent in this deck. That's why we're playing 4 of all the cards we want to see every single game, and 4 of everything that lets us search those cards, that lets us play the game. And that is it. We're just playing 6 options. But that is it for the list. I will be taking a break probably from playing this at locals, just because I don't want to blow my locals too much with it. However, I think this is a more refined list for the foreseeable future. I do think scrambles add quite a bit to the deck. They add some resiliency that you previously didn't have if your opponent actually has outs to your stuff. Let's say your opponent like de-evos your Dom or something, but they don't actually clear your board. Like, you can just scramble the Dom back to the top of your deck and just evo back into it and be like, do it again, bud. But if you guys have any questions, anything I didn't address, feel free to leave them down in the comments. But I appreciate you guys stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy seeing this kind of content. Want to come back for more. But until next time, see ya.